Hey guys, welcome to my channel. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Oh my god. So guys, I just feel like I just randomly came back on YouTube and also randomly started a channel and never actually did a sit down introduction video, and I've been meaning to do it for a long time, especially recently because my life has changed in so many ways. And I just feel like I need to keep you guys updated. The TikTok gang is well up to date, but YouTube, I just feel like I've been leaving you guys behind. So yeah, let's get into it. So I'm kind of doing this video like going with the flow. I didn't want to be too structured because I was like, if I make it too structured, I feel like I'm gonna like trip myself up. So I was like, you know what? Let me just like make it a regular conversation, like a regular conversation that I'm having with you guys. So we'll start off with the basics of who I am. So, first, my name is Grace. I am 27 years old. I am Angolan, but was born and raised in Ireland. And now I live in Canada, specifically Toronto. I moved to Toronto when I was 25, so in 2024. And now I'm 27, so it's been 2 years, which is crazy. Like, I honestly still feel like I just moved yesterday. It's crazy to think that it's 2 years now. 2 whole years. Insane. I also work in the pharma industry, the pharmaceutical industry to be specific. So shout out to my STEM baddies. Every time I say pharmaceutical industry, some people get confused and they think I'm saying pharmacy. Pharmaceutical industry and pharmacy are completely different. Go and Google it. Like, this is not the video for me to give an explanation or a breakdown. Just go and Google it. But yeah, I work in the pharmaceutical industry. I love my industry. I studied pharmaceutical science in university, which crazy. I wasn't even supposed to. And that's not what I wanted to do. But God always has a plan for us, and God's plan is always better. And now I love it. I love it. Well, I loved it when I was studying it, and I love it now. I have no complaints over my field of work. I love it. So I'm corporate baddie. And I think I already said shout out to my STEM babes because we don't get a lot of recognition out here. You know, STEM baddies, like, we're it. Just kidding. And then obviously I do my content on the side. Someone asked me the other day how long I've been doing content, and honestly, couldn't actually give an exact number. When I did move here to Canada, I started pushing it more. When I was back home, I was doing bits here and there, but then when I was back home, I wasn't really doing much because obviously I've been in Dublin my whole life. So I never really, I don't know, I never really like, at some point you kind of get bored, hence the reason that I moved. I always knew I was going to leave Ireland at some point in life. I honestly think I've been saying it since I was probably like 11, 12. I always used to say to my parents, like, one day I'm going to be gone. One day I'm going to move away. One day I'm going to move abroad. And you know how parents are, they never took me seriously. And I upped and moved one day. Like, and you know, I should go into the story of how I did that, since this is my little intro video. So that is a part of me. But before we get into that, my content is very much lifestyle, and faith based. My faith is something that's very, very, very important to me. I was raised Catholic. I was baptized. I did my communion, did my confirmation. I basically went to mass like every Sunday with my parents, and till this day, still very much go to mass, read my word, very much into my faith. My faith journey is a whole nother something to break down as well. So let's just start like one thing at a time. So the moving thing, let's start with that one. So like I said, I always knew I was going to move away. And my parents, like I said, were always just like, okay, whatever. Funny enough, I wanted to go study in the UK. So if you're in Ireland, like, it's quite common for people to go to the UK to study or like leave their county. You know, like in America, like it's common for kids to go to another state to study. Like, that's like the norm. I feel like in Ireland, that's not really like the big thing because a lot of the main colleges are in Dublin. So a lot of people don't really like Like, it's not a thing to be like, oh my God, like, I'm leaving home for university. Like, that's not like a thing back home. So I actually wanted to go study in the UK, and that didn't work out. And then when it did and it didn't work out. Basically, I got the point to go and study in the UK. And then, yeah, things just happened, and I was like, okay, let me just stay here in Ireland. So then I stayed in Ireland, and then I got my second year of uni. I actually tried to transfer again to somewhere in the UK, and then that didn't work out. Something like that didn't work out either. And I was just like, you know what? Some things are just meant to be. Like, honestly, when I look back, I'm like, things are just meant to be the way they're supposed to be. Like, I don't know, like, what could have happened if I moved to the UK. And now looking back, I'm able to be like, okay, God's hand was definitely on me, and I see why I stayed in Ireland. And also, like, getting my job experience in Ireland, I truly believe is what helped me get my job here in Canada too. So yeah, everything truly just happens for a reason. Even like my university degree, guys, like, it's so funny because I wanted to study either to be a doctor or nursing. And then I put this down as like a second option because I remember, I think it was a guidance counselor or somebody mentioned to me that if you can go through like the science route, if you don't get like your nursing or doctor's degree, you can go through science route and then do 4 years of like a science course, and then you can go and do like 3 years of like nursing or whatever. And I actually sat the HPAT for medicine. Like, if you're from Ireland, you know what the HPAT is. Like, I actually think I was just bantering because now looking back, I'm like, did I even want to be a doctor or a nurse? Like, I definitely was capping. Like, I definitely was I always knew I wanted to do something in the science world, but I don't think pharmaceutical science was something that was actually spoken about much. And I think that's another issue with Ireland is they don't know how to promote stuff in general. Like, I feel like the main courses that you're told about when you're in secondary school is law, something in finance, something in business, something in accountancy, engineering, and then for science it's always just general science or like I said, a nurse or a doctor. I feel like, am I missing anything? Or like computer science or something. I feel like they're the only courses that I ever heard come out of people's mouth and that you'd hear most people have studied, or like IT as well. Like, it was rare for people that you'd hear someone like studying something else that was like, I don't know, just not the typical ones that I just named there. Like, it was really, really rare. Or like people do art. And I think that's an issue in Ireland. Like, one of the reasons why I did leave, like, it all kind of ties in is because I feel like they always want to stick with the norm, like, and don't want change in anything. Because I feel like there's so many courses that people could do, but you almost feel like you're just limited to those. So I don't know, because I knew I wanted to do something in science, like healthcare related. I guess they were the only options that stood out to me. And I honestly didn't know about pharmaceutical science. It wasn't until I was doing my CAO. So in Ireland, you know what a CAO is. Again, I'll put like a description or some sort of screenshot of what CAO is. So when I was filling my CAO out, I remember putting down pharmaceutical science, not even thinking much about it. Like, I don't even think I even read up on the course of like what it actually involved. I think I was just like, oh, okay, if this is my plan B, if things don't work out. I ended up getting pharmaceutical science, which is a whole testimony in itself because the way that worked out for me is crazy. I ended up getting pharmaceutical science and also getting a course in the UK. And then my parents were just like, you know what? Like, you're better off. Like, they at the time were very much for me staying in Ireland. Like, they were just kind of like, you know, like, what if you don't like your course in the UK, like, and then you reject the one you got in Ireland, and like things don't work out, and like that kind of like had me overthinking and almost preparing me. And I was like, that's actually so true. Like, if I don't like the course, I have to like stay there. There's nothing I can do. Or if I don't like the uni, I have to stay there. So I was like, you know what? I was like, let me just stay in Ireland. Like something is telling me to just like stay in Ireland and do this pharmaceutical science course. And oh God, God really knew what he was doing. God really knows what he's doing, guys. Oh my God. Like sometimes you really need to sit back and look back at your life and be like, God's hand was on that. Because I sometimes think now, like, imagine I went the other route. I don't know, things could have still worked out like amazingly well. But no, things just worked out. So I did pharmaceutical science, did my 4 years. And it's funny because the first year, I genuinely thought, I was one of those people, I thought that pharmaceutical science was like pharmacy. Guys, that just goes to show you how much research I did. Because I genuinely didn't think that, like, I would even end up getting, like, I was like, oh, that, like, I'm not going to need that. Like, it's fine. So when I got it, I was like, okay, damn, like now I actually need to sit down and actually figure out what this course is. I remember going to my first lecture and the lecturer was like, if anybody in here thinks that they're going to become a pharmacist, like just walk out the room now. And when I tell you, like almost half of people in the room walked out, I was like, oh, so we were all delulu. And mind you, I never did chemistry or anything in secondary school. I did biology, but I didn't do chemistry or physics. And like obviously chemistry and physics was like a huge part of pharmaceutical science. And I was like, oh, I was like, interesting. Which funny enough, I actually ended up liking chemistry, even though it was like hard. Once you kind of start to understand it, like it's fine. But I was like, oh, and then like as the years went by, I was like, I actually enjoy this. Like, and I remember a lecturer, this was like either my second or third year, he mentioned going into like quality assurance or regulatory affairs. Like I knew I didn't want to be in the lab. So I was like, okay, like quality control is definitely not for me. I remember he mentioned something about like quality assurance and regulatory affairs. And I just remember like taking note of that in my notebook and saying like, okay, that's what I'm going to go into when I'm done. And then, yeah, guys, I graduated. I got my first job and then didn't really like that job, but that job honestly opened the door for me to get into the field of work that I'm in right now, which is quality assurance, which is really what I wanted to do. And now we're here. Now we're in Canada. Now we're blessed. Like honestly, like things just work out. Things just always work out the way they should. And I love my job. Anyone that knows me knows I love my job, and I'm so fortunate and blessed to be able to say that, especially in today's age, in today's world. Like, it's very common for people not to. So honestly, like, it's something I don't take for granted, and I thank God every day for this job. Like, because honestly, this job again is another testimony in itself. Like, God really just gave me this job. Like, it's honestly a blessing. I love my job. I love my company. Love my team. I have a great manager. Like I'm very, very blessed. And yeah, I just thank God every day for it. So things definitely worked out in terms of for my career. So even though I do like content and stuff like that, obviously it would be great to just be posting videos every time. But I'm also like not in any rush to like get to that point because I'm not in a career that I hate, to be honest. Like, and my career doesn't stop me from living my life, and you'll see that in my vlogs. You'll see that on my TikTok too. Like I live life to the fullest. Like it's one of my favorite things about me. I don't make work my life. Do you know what I mean? You know how people say they work to live? Like that is very much me. Like work is not my life. I don't believe any self-work should be your whole life. So I very much live life to the fullest. Work doesn't stop me from having fun and living at my youth and living at my 20s. So yeah, that's a blessing. Like such a huge blessing. And I say that with so much humility. Like I'm so grateful to God. Like this is all God's work, not my own. Like his hand on everything. Like just like the story I explained to you guys just there, like his hand has been on me since forever, and I'm so grateful to that. And then that brings me on to my faith journey then. So we'll talk about that. My faith journey is such an interesting one because again, people will ask me like questions on like how I got closer to God and if I've always been like this and whatnot. And the question of like, have I always been like this? I feel like my answer to that is yes. But not as strongly as I am now. Because looking back in my life, I'm always like, just certain decisions I made and certain decisions that I didn't make. And like my mindset and everything just tells me that like I was always on the right path. I just like I don't know, you know, when you're young, like I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but like when you're young, I don't know, it's so easy to feel like you're like I feel like sometimes when I was younger I used to feel like oh my god, my mindset is so, I used to know like my mindset was so different to others. But when you're young, you kind of feel like the alien, because you're kind of like, wait, like why do I think like this and like everyone else thinks like that? So like maybe my thought process is wrong. But now when I look back, I'm like, oh no, like it was really like God's hand, like God, like my mindset then was really like God pruning me to who I am right now. And I thank God every day. I thank God every day that I had that mindset. Now I'm like, no, like that is my mindset is honestly like one of my favorite traits about myself. Like I love how I love how I think. I love the decisions I make. I love my discernment, like everything. But yeah, getting into my fate is an interesting one. So it's such a random story. Like I didn't have any sort of like awakening. You know how some people have like, oh, I went through this and then like this happened, like, or like an awakening like that. It was like basically it's so random, but like basically one day, you know, like when your iPhone storage comes up, like your iPhone with the storage thing will come up and say like low on storage, like blah blah blah. And like in that situation, what we all did was like delete photos and videos and like apps or whatever. I had the Sprinkle of Jesus app and the Bible app. I don't know if anyone remembers the Sprinkle of Jesus app. The Sprinkle of Jesus app was like they used to show daily Bible quotes. So every day you'd wake up to a new Bible quote. So that was all I was doing at the time. And then I remember randomly, like I was just telling my sister Liliana, I was just telling her like, oh, I'm deleting apps on my phone. I'm gonna delete the Bible app, because I have the Sprinkle of Jesus app anyway, so it's fine. I'm gonna get my daily quotes. This was years ago, by the way, guys, like years back. And I remember my sister, she just looked at me and she was like, don't do that. I was like, what? She was like, don't delete the Bible app. She was like, delete the Sprinkle of Jesus app. She was like, why would you delete the Bible app? Like, and I was like, oh, like, and I don't even know why her words stuck with me. Like the fact that they still stick with me to this day, like for me to tell the story. I don't know why her words stuck with me, and not even in a bad way, like in a good way. Because like I actually thank her for that. Because then I actually remember that night thinking to myself like, oh my God, I can't believe I was gonna delete the Bible app so I can have more space on my phone for photos and videos. Like crazy. So then I was like, yeah, like that is crazy. Like why would I do that? And I remember, I don't even know what it was, but I just remember a feeling in me telling me like, no, like I don't know. Now looking back, I can say it's probably conviction at the time, but like I just remember thinking, oh no, like Grace, that is so bad of you. Like no. And at times I was like, I feel like I need to make up for that. Like that's terrible. Like, you know, like how can I even think like that? And I was like, I need to start reading my word. Like I need to start, like now that I'm keeping the Bible app, I need to start using it. Like rather than just having it there as like another app, I actually need to start using it. So then I started doing Bible plans. So you can do like different Bible plans on the Bible app. Like you can choose like what category you want. So you can choose from like category of love, category of hope, happiness, grief, sorrow, sadness, like anxiety. There's so many different categories that you can choose from. So I remember like whatever I was feeling at the time, I would just like select that. So if I was feeling like, oh, I needed a little bit more hope, or I don't know, like whatever it was at the time, I would just select that Bible plan. So then I started doing that. And then I remember this girl, I can't remember who it was. This girl had posted that she started a 365 year Bible plan. So basically reading the Bible in 365 days for a full year. And I remember I was like, I'm going to do that. Like, I just remember, I don't even know. I just remember telling myself, as soon as it hits January 1st, I'm going to start that Bible plan. And I made a note and I found a plan, I saved it, and I did exactly that. As soon as January 1st came, I started a Bible plan. And from there, shout out to that girl, by the way, whoever it was, I can't even remember, but like she doesn't even know what she did by posting that. That's why sometimes it's really, really good to post your Bible study, your Bible quotes, like even your Bible plans that you're doing, because you never know who's seeing that and thinking, oh my God, like let me actually do that. Like let me actually start reading my Bible more. Oh, I didn't. Or some people might even be like, oh, I never even knew like you could do Bible like plans on the Bible app. Like, let me start that. So it's actually good to like share like your faith, and that's something that the Bible even talks about. Like, we're supposed to spread the word, because you never know who you're gonna reach. So then I remember doing that. Just I started the 365 days Bible plan, and I completed that in that year. And I would do that plan. I would do some of the extra plans as well. And then it wasn't until and also I would go to church as well. So it wasn't until I moved to Canada, actually. It was Canada when I got my first Bible. So my mom actually gifted all of us Bibles. So I always had a Bible, but I never read it. I never read the Bible or anything like that. Like, I had my Bible, but I never actually, because I was still at that point where I was like, oh, I'm doing the Bible plan, so it's fine, which is still fine. Like, please, like, don't think like I'm judging anybody for doing that. You reading your word is reading your word, and that's the main priority. But I was like, I need to start doing Bible study, and that's when I moved. When I moved here, because I was moving to a new country, I was moving here on my own, and we'll get to that after as well. Because I was moving here on my own, honestly, like, I was like, I need to be closer to God than ever. Like, I was like, I need God to be with me in everything that I do and everywhere that I go, because I'm in this country on my own. I don't know anybody. Like, no, I need God first before anything and anybody else. Like, that was my number one. So then, yeah, I got a Bible before I moved here, and I brought the Bible with me. And from there on, I was like, I'm going to start doing my own Bible studies, and I'm going to start like actually understanding the word. So that's when I actually started to like understand and read the Bible. I would just I know some people start the Bible from the beginning, but for me, I just did it in the sense of whatever was calling to me, whatever chapter was calling to me at that point is what I would read. So that was like, that's kind of the method that I still do to this day. So yeah, I've actually read a lot of the Bible and understand a lot of it too. So I do my Bible studies every night. I take my notes. I have a Bible devotion, a 365 days understanding the Bible guide as well that I have. I have the Prayer Rain book, which is an interesting addition to your Bible study. I really like that book. It has very strong prayers, which is great. So yeah, I do my Bible study like every night. I go to church on Sundays, and it's a part of me now. Like, it's always been a part of me. It's important to me. My faith is very, very important to me, and I'm very proud about my faith. I'm very open about my faith, and like, nobody can ever take that away from me. Like, because I do think sometimes a lot of people shy away from wanting to talk about their faith. And I don't think you ever should. Like, I don't think you ever should feel uncomfortable wanting to be open about your faith. Like, because who actually cares what people think? You should be proud, loud and proud about it. Like, that's exactly what I am. I love posting my quotes on Instagram. I've actually been posting my quotes for quite a few years now, actually. I think even before I moved here. And honestly, sometimes I bump into people and they'll say like, oh, like, I love seeing your quotes. And who did I see the other day? I think I can't remember, that was saying to me, if they know that if they forget to read their word, they'll always get a reminder when they open my story. And I was like, see, like, you don't even, like, this is the point of it, guys. Like, we should be spreading the word, because you never know who you're reaching. You never ever know who you are reaching in this life. Like, who needed to hear that? Even people that won't tell you, they probably read it and be like, oh my God, wow, like, that's exactly like how I'm feeling right now, just like random quotes here and there. Like, even someone who like isn't strong in their faith, you can still feel it. Like, you're still gonna understand the meaning of what I'm trying to put out there, or what the word is putting out there, and what God is putting out there, what God is telling us to do. Like, you never know who you're reaching. So I think like we should spread our faith if we want to. Like obviously feel comfortable, do you know what I mean? Like, no pressure, but I don't think anybody should be ashamed of it. Like, absolutely not. So yeah, like, that's my faith journey, which, like I said, I didn't have any like big awakening, like, well, a little small awakening, which my sister told me don't do that. But yeah, and like I said, I love my faith. I love going to church. I love reading my Bible, praying, like worship. Like I just love. Like honestly, it gives me so much comfort. I'm not even gonna lie. Like walking with God has given me so much comfort, so much confidence, like so much, just everything. Like I honestly like don't care for like small things or anything really, because I'm just like, who are you? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't care like for a lot of things like anymore. But not in a bad way. Like, obviously, I care for like the important things, but there's just some things that I just don't care for anymore that I would have before. And honestly, like, I love like where my journey and where my fate is taking me. Like, I love this version of me. Like, I love the person that I am today. Like, and I can honestly say that. Um, Obviously, there's always things that we need to work on, which of course, like I'm sure there's things that I obviously will work on on a daily basis, but I love the person that I am today. Like I'm not even gonna lie. Um yeah, like I've done a lot of work to get here, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that. And I feel like sometimes we shy away from actually saying like, you know, I'm happy, or like I'm proud of myself, or I like the person that I am. No, like if you do, own it. Do you know what I mean? Like own it. Like you should. Why not? Like we put in the work for ourselves. So I should own my happiness. Do you know what I mean? So I should own how happy I am, and the life I've created, what the life that, you know, God has created for me, and you know, just yeah. Like yeah. But okay, so that's my fate. So now let's talk about my move here. So like I said, all that happened in university, blah blah blah. I went through my university story, and I realized that I was getting to this story. So 2 years ago, 2024, no, I got my visa to move here in 2023. So I was on a international experience Canadian visa, also known as a work and holiday visa. I feel like going through that process might be a little bit long in this video, but I can also do another video breaking down that process. But I applied for an work and holiday visa. Very, very easy. Basically, Canada and Ireland have this agreement, I guess, where like Irish people can come and live in Canada for 2 years on an open work permit. And I think it is the same for Canadians living in Ireland. I don't know, I think so. And I'm pretty sure the whole process for me was really, really quick. I remember speaking to a friend before that, and I'm reading reviews and some people saying that it took like 2 months for them to be pulled in from the pool, etc. I think for me, guys, I submitted my application, and I think I was like picked within a week to apply for the permit. And then yeah, I put in my documents, and I had like 20 days to put in my documents. Did all I had to do, my biometrics, police, all of that, submitted all my documents. And then honestly, guys, I think it took like a month and a half, because I started in January, and then I got my permit the I got it on the 11th of March 2023. Yeah. And then you have a year to activate the visa. So as soon as I got my permit, I knew that I wanted to give it a year to save up. Or if a job did come up, I would move. But not gonna lie, like before moving to Canada, it was actually really hard to get a job. Because a lot of the times when people would call me, they would ask if I had like Canadian experience, or recruiters would call me, they would ask if I had Canadian experience or if I was living in Canada at the time, and obviously I wasn't. So then that was kind of like basically a no for them. But then I saved up for the year, and then the year after, because obviously your visa expires in the year, I moved in March. And then yeah, March of 2024. So I told my parents, I think a couple months before, that, oh, I got my permit, by the way, like my visa, and I'm going to be moving like in March. I think they were still kind of like delusional. They were like, okay, we'll see. Like, we'll see. And I was like I gave them the notice. At this point, I'm like, listen, I told you guys, now you guys just need to be prepared. So then I think like a month or two before I moved, I bought my flight. And then I told my parents, I was like, hey, so by the way, I bought my flight to move to Toronto, to Canada. Like I told you guys, I think that's when reality sunk in for them. They were like, oh, she's actually going. Like we thought she was just yapping, but she's actually going. Like flights booked. They were like, huh, like one way, like, and that's when they started asking other questions, like your job, like, do you have a job there? Like, da da da. And like, obviously, I didn't have a job. Like, when I say, guys, this move was truly by faith. But let me say, when you walk with God, you don't fear nothing. And when things are supposed to work out for you, it's always gonna work out. When things are already aligned for you, when your path is already like laid out for you, which it is, things will always work out. So I just had faith. Like, and I truly believe that, like, me growing closer in my faith was all to get me to this point, because I don't even remember being scared. Even though I was moving without a job, I just knew, like, it's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna work out. Like, everything's gonna work out. Like, if that's the country that I'm supposed to be in, things are gonna work out. So then obviously reality started sinking for my parents, and they start giving like the parent talks. But one thing I do appreciate about my parents, they never said like, no, you're not going, or like, no, you can't go, or like they didn't try and put fear into me. Like, they honestly just accepted my decision, and they were like, you know what, like, this is what you want to do. Like, obviously we think it's wild that you're going without a job, but if this is what you want to do, like, have at it, and if it doesn't work out, like, there's always, you can always come back home. But yeah, go ahead. But obviously now 2 years later, they love telling people that they have a child that lives in Canada. Like, I'm telling you, it's their favorite flex. March 2024, hopped on a flight one way, no job, knew nobody. Like, before that, never visited Canada, because that's a question I get all the time. Like, did you visit Canada beforehand? Never. Didn't know anybody. And I moved. Had no fear, nothing. Like, I didn't even cry at the airport, which is crazy, because I thought I was gonna bawl. The only time I cried was, funny enough, was thinking about leaving my niece. She was the only person that made me cry. But obviously I love my family. Like, like, anyone that knows me knows I have a great relationship with my parents and my siblings. Like, we are one. But I think I just knew, like, at this stage of my life, like, this is the right decision for me to make, and this is the next chapter for me. And yeah, I upped and left and moved to Canada. And I've been here ever since, and I love it here. And yeah, I've loved it here. When I got here in 2024, it's crazy, because I remember being on the flight and thinking like, oh my God, like, this is crazy. And let me tell you guys, when I knew like, oh yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be, and this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, like I told you guys, I didn't get any job interviews before I moved. When I'd had recruiter calls, but didn't have any job interviews. I applied for a job maybe, I want to say, a month or two before I had officially moved in March. When I was on the plane, obviously I didn't have any Wi-Fi, none of that. Just where we landed, I turned on my phone, I checked my emails, and the first email I saw was a job interview. And that job ended up being the first job that I worked in here in Canada. And I was just like, see, like, I knew as soon as I saw that job interview email come up, I was like, oh yeah, that's my job. I was like, I'm supposed to be here. Like, what are the odds that I didn't get any interview, and then like the day I land, like, who knew I was landing on that day? God did. Like, the day I decide to fly, like, I get a job, I get an email for a job interview, and that turns out to be the job that I started when I moved here. Like, that's a whole testimony right there in the top. That's when I knew, I was like, yeah, this is exactly what I'm supposed to do. And I just had a feeling from there on, everything that I do here is always going to work out, because everything is aligned for me. Like, God already planned this path for me, and this is exactly what I should be doing. And I just always had that feeling. Even like now, like, whenever I'm doing stuff or anything, I just always know everything's going to work out. Everything is going to work out, because this is the path, the life that God has laid out for me, that He is destined for me. And I've just always trusted. And the second thing, like, my first month when I moved here, I had so many little signs from God, and it was like my confirmation of knowing, like, oh, I'm really supposed to be here. I wish I wrote down all of them, but another one that I remember right now is before I moved to Canada, because I knew I wanted to start going to church. Obviously, I was going to start going to church here. I started watching some masses, like some church mass sermons or mass online, and there was this one particular priest that I would watch all the time because I really liked how he would spread his, like, share his message and share the message. And then when, guys, kid you not, when I moved here, the first church that I went to was the same priest that I watched online, and I didn't even know that that was the church that he preaches at, because the church that I was watching, pretty sure, was a different location. So this is a priest that preaches in like different churches. The first church that I went to, the same priest that I watched online in Ireland, was the same priest in the church. I was like, oh yeah. That's when I knew. I was like, it's confirmed. Like, this is my new home. This is my new home until God says otherwise. I was like, yeah, this is the confirmation that I needed. From there on, no doubts were filled in my head at all for anything that I want to do. Like, the world is my oyster. Like, I can do it all. As long as God is with me, I can do it all. I can actually do it all. I was like, yeah, this is it. That was the confirmation that I needed. And like, honestly, it just constantly keeps giving me signs and confirmations that I should be here. Like, so many different ways. I have so many answered prayers since moving here. So many blessings, so many testimonies, like upon testimonies since moving here. Like, I'm not even gonna say it's wild, because it's all just destined to be. So I moved here, didn't know anybody. Like I said, wasn't scared or anything. Like, honestly, my first week I was like, okay, now that we're here, let's go. My sister Shada told me to download Bumble BFF, so I did. And then yeah, Bumble BFF was where I started making my friends. TikTok is how I started making my friends. True mutual friends, true friends is how I started making friends. And now 2 years later, like, I've met so many different people and so many close friends too, like people I consider close friends, just through random things, like random things. Some Bumble BFF, some they reach out to me online, some I reach out to them, some in the clubs, like at the bars, like random things, like friends, events, like just putting yourself out there. Like, that's the number one advice I would always give to people who move to a new country, especially by themselves or even with somebody. Just put yourself out there. Go do what the city offers. Like, Toronto has so much things going on in the city that there's just so much that you can do. Go to networking events, go to social meetups. There's so much, like coffee meetups, like walking clubs, running clubs, paddle, tennis, like black people meetups, coffee meetups, which is where I met a friend. There's just so many places for you to go to in this city to meet people that I'm just like, just take advantage of it. Like, take full advantage of it. And I know it could be nerve-wracking sometimes, like, but just do it. I promise you, because you're going to meet so many people who are in the same situation as you, and you'll be thanking yourself that you went, because now you could be walking out with someone who's going to be your close friend forever. You just never know. Like, that's basically it, guys. I feel like I'm not missing anything else. Do you guys want to know how many siblings I have? I don't know. I have 3 siblings, if anybody's wondering. I have 2 sisters and a brother. I'm the baby. Yeah, I'm the baby, and I love that, because again, I always see people bashing youngest kids, but let me tell you, the youngest child, I feel like the youngest child is always the most fearless. And listen, you can quote me on that, you can come at me about that, but it's true. Every time I meet someone who's a younger child, we're always all the same. We're all fearless. But yeah, I've been living. LIVING, living, since I've been here. Like, I love it here. I have no complaints about Canada. Of course, yeah, the winters are terrible and whatnot, but other than that, like, I think it's an amazing country, and I love Toronto. Like, I have no issues right now, but I completely understand, like, if you've been in a country or a city your whole life, I can see how you can get bored of it. Like, just like how I got bored of Dublin. But no, like, guys, like, live your best life. Like, go live your best life. So, like, do let me know what you guys want to see. But my vlogs will obviously consist of me living here, like living in Toronto. The things I do. Obviously, summer's coming up soon, so we will be taking the camera outside. I do a lot of solo activities too. That's another thing about me. I love a solo activity. Like I said, I'm not afraid to do things. I'm not afraid to do things on my own either. So I've done solo trips. I do solo activities, which I need to get back into do more. I love a good solo like brunch out. I'm a fitness girly to a T. I've been going to the gym now consistently for, let's say 3.5 to 4 years. Oh my god, that's crazy. But yeah, I think like 3 years. 3.5 years? Yeah. Well, maybe 4 years. Oh my god, that's wild. But yeah, I've been going to the gym now for a minute. And body tea. No, I'm just, no, actually, yeah, no, body is tea. Body is tea. It is. Like I said, I work hard. So yeah, my body does look good. Like, I feel like, yeah, it does. I love working now. Work out 5 days a week. What else is there a fun fact about me? Yeah, I guess that's the main things, guys. So yeah, you'll see me work out here and there. Love me some like active events. Love a night out with the girlies. Love to do like spontaneous random things in the city. So we'll definitely see more of that. Obviously my trips here and there, very spontaneous girly too. So I do love my little trips here and there. So yeah, there's so many things about me that you guys will see. And I'm doing a weekly series called Graceful Thursdays, which is just a weekly vlog. So you see what I got up to. And again, guys, like obviously not every vlog is going to be as entertaining because some days I'm not doing anything. Like some days I'm enjoying my rent. Some days I'm chilling in my condo. I'm at home. Obviously, like I said, I'm a corporate girl, so I work 9 to 5. Some days you're just going to see me in the gym that day because all I did was work and go to the gym, But we'll try and spice it up and make it fun. I try to show you guys like when I'm cooking, I guess, or like randomly baking here and there. Since moving here, well, actually, since being at home too, I always enjoyed baking. But like moving here, I like always get like random urges to like just want to bake. Yeah, and just like yeah, my life, me, your black Irish girly, living it up in the six. And that's me. So thank you guys for watching. And if anyone has any questions, like obviously let me know. You can message, you can comment. I do also post short form content on TikTok. So TikTok is mainly where you guys will see like me posting like restaurants that I've been to, like random activities. Like I do love to post like those sort of videos and give people inspiration on like where to go. So follow me on TikTok. I'll have my name. I do have an Instagram, so you can follow me on Instagram if you want. I'm trying to get better at like posting on Instagram, like and actually posting photos. I'm definitely more comfortable speaking to the camera than posing for the camera. So definitely need to get better at taking photos and posting that on my Instagram. But yeah, guys, that's all from me. That's all I have to say. And like, comment, and subscribe. Oh my god, I've said that so long. But yes, I would appreciate that so much. And like I said, let me know what videos you guys want to see. Any tips, any ideas, or any questions, like I said. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.